Live from Muzzy Field down in Bristol, Connecticut, Bristol Blues baseball is back. Bristol Blues are coming off a win over the Martha's Vineyard Sharks 9-7, and the Pittsfield Suns, who are coming into Muzzy Field, historic Muzzy Field, coming in with a loss 11-8 to the the North Shore Navigators. Bristol Blues on the 9-7 victory had home runs by Malloy, Justin Henry Malloy, Winkle, and Bonficini. And that was Malloy's second home run in less than 24 hours. 3 players had 2 hits apiece. But here's the big one for the Bristol Blues. Only 6 strikeouts among the team with only a couple walks. And I think that's the biggest factor. This Bristol Blues team has a lot of talent, but if they can cut down on the strikeouts and be able to get to that offense and capability, the sky's the limit. Bristol Blues are on the defensive side right now. We'll give you the infield and outfield as well as the starting pitcher on the mound. Left, center, right will be Giacomo Brancato. In center will be Richard Breerton. In right will be Peyton Stevens. In the infield, Cooper Maroka at first. Haig at second. Leparco at short. Malloy at third. Behind the plate, Patrick Winkle, the all-area MVP from the New Haven Register. And on the mound will be Casey Elbin from West Virginia Tech, or rather West Virginia University Tech. This is Elbin's first start of the season. He is 1-0 with a 4.50 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts to 17 walks. The biggest thing for Elbin being able to throw strike one. Has a 42% first pitch strike percentage this season, so something to watch for in this game. Chris Saunders on the call. My partner AJ is currently doing the PA for tonight with our original PA guy, John Woods, out of tonight's contest. So we just Chris Saunders on the call between the Bristol Blues and the Pittsfield Suns. Be Chad Shade stepping up from Springfield College. Elbin's ready. And Shade's ready. Well, let's do it. First pitch high at 7:03. Shade 256, 18 runs scored, 10 walks. The 1-0. High 2-0. Fastball outside, nips the corner, 2-1. Shade is 9th in runs and 4th in stolen bases in the FCBL. 2-1. Fouls it back, 2-2. 82 degrees with a chance of rain. Before this game, there was a couple of spotted showers and some thunder, but nothing really came about. Elbin gets the sign, 2-2. On the count full, and that's not exactly what the Blues wanted. If Shade finds a way to get on, he can wreak havoc on the base pads. Payoff pitch coming. Just got a piece with Shade. We'll do it again. After Shade, it will be Sullivan, Matthews. If any of them get on, Ivan Nunez. Three-two pitch. And another foul ball, and Shade continuing on battling against Elbin. The more pitches that he sees, the better opportunity that he'll have to be able to put a piece on the ball and also allow his battery mates behind him to see what Casey Elbin has in this half inning. 3-2 pitch, cut at him, missed. Elbin wins that battle. And Patrick Sullivan will be next up at the plate. 292 with 1 home run and 9 RBIs. He goes to the University of Georgia. Elbin throwing the high fastball against Shade, and Shade was in full attack mode, couldn't get a piece at all. That's a big first out for the starter in today's game. Inside strike, 0-1. One foul up the first baseline to be 0-2. And Elbin will try to find any way to get Sullivan out. He does not want to have somebody on with Dave Matthews, who does have 2 home runs against the Bristol Blues this season, both coming in a doubleheader. 0-2 high fastball. Did he go? Yes, he did. 2 down for Elbin, both via the K. Dave Matthews, 266, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. He goes to Central Connecticut State University. As I said before, 2 home runs back when the Pittsfield Suns are rather here on a doubleheader. First pitch to Matthews, low, 1-0. Blues 16 and 12. Pittsfield Suns 12 and 15. Blues looking for their second consecutive win in 2 days. 1-0. Breaking ball in the dirt, 2-0. 2-0 was ripped into right center. Going back is Brereton and Stevens. But Brereton's going to make the catch at the track, and the side is retired. Impressive inning for Casey Elbin. First 2 via the K, Shade and Sullivan, and gets Matthews to fly out to center. Running to the bottom of the first, your Bristol Blues will be up to bat. You're watching the Bristol Blues right here on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Bottom of the first, 0-0 is your score. Bristol Blues able to get an impressive inning from Casey Elbin, the starting pitcher for tonight. Got the first 2 via the K, and then got Dave Matthews to fly out to right center. That was a big out for Elbin right there because he's hit 2 home runs against the Blues thus far this season, both coming in a doubleheader. Well, the Blues will have an opportunity to bat. We'll have Osbert, or rather, pardon me, we'll have Leparco, Teddy Haig, and Brereton if any of them get on. Winkle. We'll round out the defense for the Suns. Left, center, right will be Matthews in left, Shade in center, Mendoza in right. In the infield will be Sullivan at first, Hughes at second, McHale at short, and Nunez at third. Behind the plate, Simeone. And on the mound will be Brian Johnson. Johnson from Springfield College. 2-2 with a 2.61 ERA, 20 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts, and 12 walks. His last start came about against the Navigators in a loss, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And first pitch from the lefty. It's a fastball high, called a strike, 0-1. Johnson has pitched against the Blues, which seems to be almost every time this season. And quickly, 0-2 is the shortstop, Leparco. Broken bat, flare, charging into Sullivan. He only has one play, flicks it over to Johnson, and the barehanded play by the pitcher tags on first and gets Leparco out. But an impressive play, though, by the starting pitcher for the Suns, Brian Johnson, be able to field his position correctly. Sullivan tossed it over, and then Johnson barehanded it for the first out. Now, in 2 starts against the Blues, Johnson has won both. has pitched 5 and two-thirds innings apiece. Has only surrendered a total of 5 runs against the Blues. First pitch, off-speed inside to Teddy Haig, 0-1. So in 9 and two-thirds innings, only 5 runs allowed against this Bristol Blues lineup. 0-1 to Haig, inside 1-1. Haig with a 3.08 average, 5 strikeouts, and he goes to Yale University. 1-1. Foul back, 1 and 2, and you can tell Johnson on all 3 of those pitches really jamming Teddy Haig inside. And by doing that, he opens up the outer half of the plate because Haig has to respect that inside part. So you would anticipate possibly a breaking ball outside. Johnson pitching from the third base side of the rubber. 1-2 to Haig. Fastball way outside, 2-2. Two is going to be a soft ground ball to the right side. Second baseman Hughes barehands it, fires over to first. 2 down quickly for the Pittsfield Suns. That's going to bring up Brereton. 307 with 11 runs scored, 12 walks, 28 strikeouts. And Brereton's really picked it up of late. Last week he had a 108 average in the last 7 games, but has found the ability to be patient and find his pitch and crush it. In the last 7 days, he's batting .280. First pitch strike, bottom part of the zone. And Johnson throwing strikes to all 3 batters thus far, Leparco and Haig. Leparco grounded out to the first baseman on a nice play from Sullivan. And then Haig grounded out to the second baseman, Hughes. One breaking ball hits the outer part of the zone, 1-2. And Brereton finds a way to get on. Wink will be coming up to the plate, who hit a home run in last night's game against Martha's Vineyard, one of the 3 home runs. Both Malloy and Bonficini hit one respectively. One to the Brereton fastball. Must have been low. So Johnson starting to walk up a little bit towards his dugout. And even the shortstop, McHale, thought the same thing. That'll be 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nothing early here in the bottom of the first. To the left side, McHale fields. Makes the throw to first. And a 1-2-3 inning for both sides. Elbin and Johnson running to the top of the second. Nothing's your score. You're watching the Bristol Blues right here on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Top of the second, 0-0. 1, 2, 3 innings for both Casey Elbin and Brian Johnson. We'll have 4, 5, 6. Nunez, Faircloth, and McHale. If any of them get on, Thomas Hughes. And Ivan Nunez, 273, 7 RBIs from Southeastern University. First pitch to the righty, a fastball outside, 1-0. Elbin got the first 3 outs in the first, both Shade and Sullivan via the K. And then Matthews flew out to right center where Elbin was able to track it down. The 1-0. This ball is going to be taken into center. Brereton's going to take a couple steps to his glove side and make the catch in right center for the first out. Now we'll bring up the DH, Dylan Faircloth, 267, 16 RBIs, but 14 strikeouts. Goes to North Lake Community College. Faircloth leads the team with 16 RBIs. And he rips that into left center. That's going to find a way to get to the wall, and Faircloth is going to have a chance to be able to get a double. And he will, a stand-up double for Dylan Faircloth here in the top of the second. And Faircloth was looking for that fastball, and Elbin gave it to him right down the middle of the plate. And Faircloth was able to get a good piece on it. Charging it was Brancato and Brereton. No matter how quickly they went after that, Faircloth was at least going to get a double there. So runner in scoring position, 1 down. And a fastball in the dirt, but Winkle going to his arm side to be able to stop that. Brian McHale, 314, 17 runs, 19 RBIs. Goes to Babson College, playing shortstop and wearing number 5. Fastball outside, must have been away, 2-0. McHale is first in the FCBL in doubles. To McHale, breaking ball low, 3-0. On deck will be Hughes, in the hole will be Vicente Mendoza. Fighting all the way back is Elbin. Hits the outside corner, 3-1. Haig holding the runner on because of McHale's pull side. And he's a right-handed hitter. The second baseman will be covering the bag. 3-1 pitch. Fouls it back, full count. See Laparco playing near the grass. Haig behind second base, kind of giving a little bit of a discussion with Faircloth. Malloy playing about 5 feet behind the bag. Payoff pitch. Slap that into right. Stevens has it camped under. Faircloth is going to tag and not even going to attempt to throw, respecting the arm of Peyton Stevens. 2 down. And the Suns do not advance the runner on second. Faircloth. Now bring up Thomas Hughes, 233, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, and he's a Sooner, Oklahoma University. Hughes playing second base, wearing number 30, also batting from the right side. Faircloth still on second base. First that was Nunez. He flew out to center. Then Faircloth ripped a first pitch fastball to the left center, went all the way to the wall. First pitch foul back by Hughes. And then McHale flew out to right, and because of the arm of Peyton Stevens, Faircloth did not advance. And Elbin has an opportunity to be able to escape the potential damage right here with the Suns with a runner on second. 0-1. Breaking ball. It's going to slice foul near the Suns' bullpen. It'll be 0-2 for Elbin right here. Adding the count 0-2, at least have 1, possibly 2 pitches here to try to see if you can get Hughes either to strike out or hit the ball on the ground and allow this top defense of the Bristol Blues, number 2 in the FCBL, chance to make the play. 0-2, breaking ball, taken into left. Brancato came in and then went back. Makes the catch for the third and final out, and the Suns strand Faircloth on second. So the double means nothing. Right to the bottom of the second. 0-0 is your score. Chris Saunders on the call. You're watching the Bristol Blues right here on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Bottom of the second, Pittsfield Suns strand a runner on second base, so the Faircloth double does not come around to bite Casey Elbin. And the Bristol Blues will have 4, 5, 6, Winkle, Malloy, Stevens. If any of them get up, Cooper Maroka and Patrick Winkle not only hit his first home run yesterday as a Bristol Blue against the Martha's Vineyard Sharks, but he also was named the New Haven Register All-Area MVP. And Winkle selected in the high 30s round of the New York Yankees. I think it was 32nd overall. Decided to forego that and go to UConn in the fall. Winkle with a .259 average, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, and as I stated, he'll be a UConn Husky in the fall. Breaking ball outside, 1-1. Johnson back on for a second inning of work, throwing the backdoor breaking ball. 17 pitch coming from Johnson. It's a fastball chopper to McHale. Plays it on the hop. Fields fires and gets Winkle out of first for the first out here in the bottom of the second. I'll bring up Justin Henry Malloy. 294, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. He'll be going to Vanderbilt in the fall. And Malloy hit his second home run yesterday in less than 24 hours in a 9-7 rout against the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. And that win gave Bristol their 16th win of the season and at least keep them afloat among second place with the Brockton Rocks just behind them. 1-0 count on Malloy. Low, 2-0. And Malloy, who does have a quick bat through the zone, you do not want to throw him a fastball and a fastball count. And Johnson, if he falls behind, would not shock me if he threw a breaking ball sometime in this count. And there's the breaking ball low, 3-0. Stevens on deck with Maroka in the hole. .30 fastball right down the middle, 3-1. And Johnson kind of throwing that get-me-over fastball, and that might have been a pitch that Malloy, if he can go back, might take a hack at it. 3-1 pitch, breaking ball. Inside below, called a strike, full count. Malloy in his last 7 days, 2 for 11, both via the home run, 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. 3-2 fastball outside, and Malloy strikes out looking. Malloy didn't even take the bat off the shoulder, was ahead in the count, 3-0. But saw a fastball down the middle, a breaking ball inside, and a fastball outer half. And he goes down for the second out. First strikeout for Johnson. That brings Peyton Stevens 253 12 runs, but 24 strikeouts. He'll be a sophomore at Central. Fastball low, 1-0. Johnson going for his second, 3 and out. The 1-0 on the hands towards Hughes. Gets it over to first base, and another 1-2-3 inning for Johnson. 6 up, 6 down, running to the top of the third. 0-0's your score. Chris Saunders on the call between the Bristol Blues and the Pittsfield Suns. You're watching the Bristol Blues right here on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Top of the third, 0-0. 1-2-3 inning for Brian Johnson, the left-hander for the Suns. Was able to get Winkle to ground out to short. A strikeout by Malloy, who was ahead in the count 3-0, but didn't take the bat off his shoulders. And then a ground ball by Stevens on a 1-0 count. That's what got us his point right now. We'll have 8-9 then top. Elvin back on for his third inning of work. First pitch foul back. Be Vicente Mendoza, Severino Simeone, then Chad Shade. If any of them get on, Patrick Sullivan. Mendoza, 171 average, 10 walks. That was a fastball in the dirt, a shot put, 1-1. Mendoza from Southern Connecticut State University. The 1-1 hits the outside corner, 1-2. 29th pitch coming for Elbin here in the top of the third. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, uncompetitive, 2-2. The difference between a competitive and uncompetitive pitch is competitive. It was somewhere near the zone for the hitter to at least think about. Uncompetitive, it was outside the strike zone and didn't even think twice about not committing. 2-2 pitch to the left side. Malloy plays it on the hop, fields it cleanly, and the pick by Maroka helps out his third baseman. 1 down here in the top of the third. And Malloy's probably going to owe Maroka a Gatorade right there. Kind of picked up his teammate. For Maroka being a first baseman for the Blues, knowing his way around the bag, and got himself in the proper position to be able to field that ball. First pitch to the 9-hitter, Severino Simeone. High 1-0. Simeone, 071 average with 1 RBI. He goes to Amherst College. 1-0, big healthy cut but missed, 1-1. Elbin came into today's game 1-0 with a 4.50 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts to 17 walks. Breaking ball in the dirt, 2-1. And typically when you see 8 strikeouts to 17 walks, kind of get worried, if we start him, what's going to happen? But right now, Elbin's been throwing strikes, has yet to walk a batter. And we're at the 9 batter here in the top of the third. And as I say that, 3-1 is the count on the 9-hitter. 3-1 pitch. On ball 4, and I did the broadcast curse. Simeone gets the first. We're back up to the top with Chad Shade, who struck out swinging in their half to begin the ball game. Chad Shade came in with a .256 average, the Springfield College. First pitch fastball, called a strike, 0-1. Had a nice season for Springfield, batted over .320 and had 20 stolen bases, was a real threat for Springfield. 0-1, same spot, 0-2, and you saw Winkle kind of shaking his head, agreeing with Elbin. That's exactly where we wanted the pitch. Let's see what he throws right here, having the count 0-2. Simeone taking a lead, 0-2 fastball, tried to expand the zone a little bit more, didn't get the call, but it's not a bad spot. Got the first two in the almost same exact area, so why not expand a little bit more and see what you can get from the umpire. Simeone taking a little bit more of a lead, breaking ball, fought off. Right field charging in, Peyton Stevens makes the catch, throws it over to first, offline. But Stevens charging in and able to show off the speed and stretch out to get the out. 2 down here in the top of the third. Now bring up Patrick Sullivan from the University of Georgia, .292 average, 9 RBIs. First pitch to Sullivan. Takes a healthy cup, a foul tipped into the glove, 0-1. On deck will be Dave Matthews and Elbin. Like I said in the first inning, better chances are with Matthews with nobody on base than rather with guys on base. He's a threat. 0-1 in the dirt, a breaking ball, but stuffed by Winkle. 1-1, and Winkle known for his glove, being able to keep the balls in front and being versatile both to his arm side and his glove side. One high, throw to second, but gets away from Leparco into center field. Simeone's going to get to second base, and what looked to have been a little bit of a misplay by the infield for the Blues, not knowing who to tag. And lack of communication right there allows the Suns to have a runner on at second base. Goes down as a stolen base for the 9-hitter, Simeone. 2-1 count on Sullivan. Runner on second. 2-1 in the hand. Sullivan not happy. Leparco shading towards the line. Makes the catch. And for the second straight inning, the Suns strand a runner on second base. Right into the bottom of the third. 0-0's your score. You're watching the Bristol Blues right here on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Bottom of the third, 0-0 here at historic Muzzy Field. Chris Saunders on the call between the Bristol Blues and the Pittsfield Suns. Casey Oben escaping another runner on second damage, but the Suns were not able to capitalize. As now we have 7, 8, 9, Maroka, Brancato, Haig. If any of them get on, we're back up to the top with Alex Laparco. Maroka from the UMass Amherst, 254 RBIs, 5 walks. Made a nice play in the last half inning, helping out Justin Henry Malloy around the bag at first. First pitch breaking ball outside, 0-1. Maroka batting from the right side. Wearing number 28. 0-1 low, but nice frame job from Simeone trying to bring that ball back in to the strike zone, 1-1. Pitch coming for Johnson, and it's a swing and a miss by Maroka. 1-2. And Casey Oben's currently at 40 pitches. This will be Johnson's 29th, and it's a fastball outside, 2-2. 6 consecutive batters retired by Johnson. Has both the fastball and the breaking ball working. And he shows off the breaking ball right there to Maroka and gets him down swinging. 1 down here in the bottom of the third. I'll bring up Giacomo Brancato. 175, 14 strikeouts. He goes to Fairfield University. First pitch fastball in, got Brancato moving a little bit on his feet, 1-0. More of a purpose pitch from Johnson to try to get him to brush off the plate a tad and then open up that outer half of the plate with the breaking ball. 1-0 fastball. Nunez comes up with it. Stretch play by Sullivan is able to get the out at first. 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Nunez did not put enough oomph on the throw, and Sullivan had to stretch out a tad. But Nunez, over 6'3", able to use his length and get the out at second, or rather get the out at first. Now I'll bring up the 9 batter, Andrew Haig. Fastball low in the dirt, 1-0. Haig 200 with 3 RBIs, and he'll be a sophomore at UConn next year, rather this coming fall. 1-0 foul back, 1-1. One and one on Haig. Breaking ball high, 2-1. If Haig finds a way to get on, we'll be back up to the top with Alex Laparco. So far, only 1 hit, and we're in the bottom of the third. Fastball outside, 2-2. And the only hit came off of Dylan Faircloth back in the second inning on a double, first pitch fastball. Other than that, it's been a pitching duel between Elbin and Johnson. 2-2 to Haig. Ground ball to the left side. Nunez gets in front of McHale. Overshoots Sullivan. Haig's going to stay on at first base. And you got a question right there. Who had a better opportunity at the ball? And McHale, I think, was charging in rather than Nunez having to go to the opposite side of the field right there. But costly error for the Suns. That's going to put a runner on at first base, as I stated. Now Alex Laparco will be at the plate. Laparco grounded out to first. First pitch swing was Laparco. Fouls it back off the screen. 0-1. And Leparco's play was interesting because it was a ground ball to the first baseman, Sullivan. And with Johnson covering the bag, it was so far off towards his glove side that he had to barehand it and made the play at first. A 1 changeup fading outside. Now Leparco's falling behind 0-2. With Haig getting on at first, that breaks the streak of 8 straight retired by the left-hander Brian Johnson, who has had the Blues number 2-0. 0-2, Haig's going on the play. Pitch outside, throw to second. Not in time, and Haig's going to get a stolen base. Now the Bristol Blues will have a runner in scoring position. Oh, 2 to Leparco. Off the end of the bat, Hughes has it, fires over the first, and just gets out the speedy Leparco, who gave a hard 90 for the Bristol Blues strand. A runner on second. So the error by Nunez does not come back to bite the Pittsfield Suns. Running to the top of the fourth. 0-0's your score. You're watching the Bristol Blues right here on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Top of the fourth, 0-0. Only 1 hit so far, and that came off the bat of Dylan Faircloth. For the Pittsfield Suns. Ground ball to the right side. That's going to be Haig, and they get the out at first. That was Dave Matthews, a big first out for Casey Elbin here in the top of the fourth. The Bristol Blues did have a runner on second base via an error by the Suns and a stolen base from Andrew Haig, who was able to record the first out here in the top of the fourth. But a missed opportunity by the Blues, as both teams have had at least a runner on at second base. Suns had one in the second and the third, both stranded, and now the Blues in their bottom of the third. Ivan Nunez, who flew out to center, looks at a fastball in and kind of brushed off, 2-0. 2-0 to Nunez high, 3-0. Four straight balls, and that's going to put Nunez on at first with 1 down.
Now batting for Pittsfield, designated hitter, number 14, Dylan Faircloth.
Dylan Faircloth will have his second at bat. He looked at a first pitch fastball and roped it into left center for a double back in the second, but was later stranded after 2 straight flyouts by McHale and Hughes. Maroka on the bag, covering, making sure Nunez stays honest at first. And a fastball high, but called a strike against Faircloth, who decided to not swing at the pitch, 0-1. Oh, 1 to Faircloth. Curveball, this might have a chance to stay. Maroka's going towards the line. And way out of his reach, 0-2 on the DH. '51st pitch coming from Elbin against Faircloth. 0-2 count. Nunez on at first. Fastball way outside. 1-2. After Faircloth, it will be McHale and then possibly Hughes. As I stated, both flew out back in the second. 1-2 count on Faircloth. Fights it off, slicing foul. And we'll do it again. Elbin from West Virginia University Tech falls now to an even count, 2-2 on Faircloth. Nunez really not expanding his lead on at first. 2-2. Another foul ball, and Faircloth continuing this tough at bat. Really making Elbin work. Already now at his 55th pitch coming. And Faircloth steps out, asks for time, and the umpire tells Elbin to do the same. Elbin pitching from the first base side of the rubber. Comes to the set at the belt, stares down Nunez. 2-2. Faircloth takes it into left center. Brancato and Brereton. It will be Brereton who makes the catch. 2 down for the Blues here in the top of the fourth.
Now batting shortstop, number 5, Brian McHale.
Numbering Brian McHale, as I stated, flew out to right field back in the second inning, getting his second at bat here in the fourth. So far, only 1 hit for the Suns, 0 for the Blues. That 1 hit came off the bat of Faircloth. First pitch to Hughes. Fastball to the right side, slicing. Stevens going to have to go back a couple steps, but make the catch over the shoulder for the third and final out. So the walk of Nunez doesn't hurt Elbin. Right into the bottom of the fourth, the Blues still searching for their first hit. You're watching the Bristol Blues right here on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Bottom of the fourth, 0-0. Bristol Blues will have their 2-3-4. Haig, Brereton, Winkle. Find them get on Malloy. But Elbin escaped a 1-out walk to Nunez and got 2 straight flyouts. And Johnson still trying to be able to keep this no-hitter alive here in the bottom of the fourth. But we'll have a couple tough at-bats with Haig and Brereton as well as Winkle. And of the outs that Elvin has recorded for the Blues, 8 of them have been via flyout. Haig grounded out to the second baseman back in the bottom of the first. Johnson's 42nd pitch coming. And it's going to be bunted foul up the third baseline. And Haig trying to find any way to get on. Does have speed as well as his brother Andrew Haig. Have the ability with wheels to get to first with ease. Johnson staring down Simeone. The 0-1. Fastball outside, 1-1. 16-12 the Bristol Blues are. Pittsfield Suns are 12-15. Already one game in the books. The North Shore Navigators won a big game today over a wide margin. 1-1's going to be taken into right center. Going back is the center fielder for the Suns to make the catch is Chad Shade. One down here in the bottom of the fourth. Now bring up Richard Brereton, who grounded out to the shortstop back in the first inning as well. Shade showing off the speed that he has, being able to glide towards the right center part of the field to make the catch. Fastball way outside, 1-0. On deck will be Winkle, and the hole will be Malloy. And that's going to be the first hit for the Bristol Blues coming in the bottom of the fourth. Off the bat of Richard Brereton. You can take away the 0 column on the hit board. The Bristol Blues have their first hit of the day. And very fittingly, it comes off the bat of their number 3 hitter, the center fielder, Richard Brereton. And now Winkle has an opportunity to come up with somebody on base. He ground out to the shortstop to begin the bottom of the second inning. Let's see how Johnson reacts after giving up his first hit of the day. There was a breaking ball inside to Winkle. First 3 pitches he threw to Winkle, and his first at bat were both inside, and then threw a curveball away. You saw right there a curveball inside. Winkle didn't chase. One-0. Winkle gets up just a piece, but fouls it back. 1-1. Forty-ninth pitch coming for Johnson here in the bottom of the fourth. Both teams with 1 hit apiece. The Suns have their 1 hit from Faircloth. Blues get theirs via Richard Brereton. The Suns also have 1 error on the day. Throw back to first. Brereton leaning towards second. Had to dive back in quickly to first. One to Winkle. Hits the inside corner. 1-2. On deck is Malloy. In the hole will be Peyton Stevens. Brereton taking a 3-step lead. Now 3.5. Johnson staring him down. Winkle takes it into center. Shade coming in. Shows off the speed again and makes the catch for the second out. Winkle had a good piece, but Shade being able to cover center field like a patrolman and made the catch for the second out. And Malloy will be at the plate, who was ahead in the count 3-0 in his first at bat, but looked at 3 straight pitches, a fastball down the middle, a breaking ball inside, and then a fastball away. Didn't even take the bat off the shoulder, so we'll see if maybe he's a little bit more aggressive here in his second at bat. First pitch, Brereton's going, so Malloy swings at it. McHale ranges, throws off the run, and it's going to take Sullivan off the base path. Now the Bristol Blues will have runners on first and second. Malloy wasn't going to waste any time. Didn't take the bat off his shoulders in his first at-bat. Decided to hack away and gets rewarded with the hit as McHale had to kind of range that behind second base on the run. Now we'll bring up Peyton Stevens. He grounded out to the second baseman in his first at-bat. First pitch to Stevens. Outside corner umpire said it was away, 1-0. Stevens to look to his RBI column in the stat sheet. So far in second. Check swing was a strike anyway, 1-1, and Stevens doesn't agree with it. His teammate Matthew Bonficini, the first baseman who gets the night off, is first on the team with 14 RBIs. And Stevens is right behind him. So Brereton on second, Malloy on at first, infield playing back. Brereton dancing on at second, the 1-1. Called time, and Johnson was about to deliver, but decided to hold up. Second baseman Hughes holding on Brereton in case of an attempt throw from Simeone. One to Stevens, lays off the changeup, 2-1. And a good eye from Stevens right there. On deck will be Maroka, and double deck will be Giacomo Brancato. 2-1 count, 2 outs, nothing. Blues have 2 hits. Suns have 1. And Johnson doing a little bit of a deke. Malloy retreating back as well as Brereton. 1 error for the Suns, none for the Blues. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Blues looking for their first lead of the day. Suns as well. Suns have stranded runners on second base in the second and the third. Blues so far have in just the bottom of the third. 2-1 fastball outside, 2-2. Was the first time in this game that the Blues have had runners beyond second base. They have Malloy on at first. Two to Stevens. He takes it into center field. Shade. Liner right to the glove. And the Bristol Blues strand runners on first and second. They get their first hit, and rather 2 hits, but not able to cash in with the runners in scoring position. A good piece by Peyton Stevens, running to the top of the 5th. 0-0 your score. Exciting ball game here at historic Muzzy Field. Chris Saunders on the call. I'd like to thank you for tuning in for this game between the Pittsfield Suns and the Bristol Blues. You're watching Bristol Blues right here on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Top of the fifth, Elbin back on for his fifth inning of work. The Blues had their first hit, and rather 2 hits, in the bottom of the fourth, but weren't able to capitalize with runners on first and second as both Winkle and Stevens hit both liners right to shade, and he showed the speed to be able to make both catches. And with being in the top of the fifth, we'll have Hughes, Mendoza, and Simeone. If they find any way to get on, we back up to the top with shade. Hughes getting a second at bat, flew out. One-two count on Hughes. Breaking ball low. 2-2. Fastball just fouled back. We'll do it again. Hughes being that pesky at bat. Hughes does have 1 home run. Goes to Oklahoma University, and Oklahoma was eliminated in the Super Regional. 2-2. Lays off the fastball. Good eye from the righty. 3-2 is the count. That's the kiss of death, putting a leadoff runner on via a walk. You'd rather have him get on via a hit. Something about the psychological side. Fastball outside. Strike 3. And Hughes doesn't agree with the call, and he just takes off his helmet in disagreement. That is a big first out for Elbin here in the top of the fifth. Now bringing up Vicente Mendoza, grounded out in his first at bat and fouls off the first pitch as he bites the middle part of the bat. Characteristically, you don't see that. I know Yasiel Puig likes to lick the bat. Never seen a person bite it, though. 0-1. Another breaking ball. Malloy waits for it, sets, shows off the arm. Maroka lost his footing and kind of was going back a little bit like he slipped on butter. Was able to make the catch and keep his foot on the bag for a second out. And we know Malloy has a great arm, but it's been a little bit inaccurate. But with the help of Maroka, I think Malloy now owes him 2 Gatorades. First pitch high to the 9-batter Simeone, who walked and is only at bat so far in the third and reached second on a stolen base with a little bit of confusion between the shortstop, Luparco, and Haig. But who's going to cover the bag? And Elbin has 2 strikeouts and 2 walks thus far. Rather, 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. 1-1 to Simeone. Can be fouled back behind us. 1-2. Elbin looking for his second strikeout in this inning, his 4th of the game. And the count 1-2 against the 9-hitter. Those are breaking ball in the dirt, but Winkle showing off the moves, keeping the ball in front, 2-2. And Winkle's been a wall back there, has now allowed 1 ball to get by him. The 2-2. Fastball out. 3-2. Nothing wrong with that pitch. Elbin trying to be able to expand the zone a little bit more and stretch out to see where the umpire is going to say that's a ball and that's a strike. Payoff pitch. Gets past Elbin. Right to Haig. Throws on the run. Nice play by the second baseman. Haig showing off the moves. And the side is retired. 1-2-3. We're heading to the bottom of the 5th. 0-0's your score. Let's see if that brings up the Bristol Blues momentum. Watching the Bristol Blues right here on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Bottom of the fifth, we will have 7, 8, 9. Maroka, Brancato, and Haig. If any of them get on, we're back up to the top with Laparco. A nice play by the second baseman, Haig. First pitch to Maroka, fastball high, call the ball, 1-0. On the run, was able to show a little bit of flash. The now sophomore in the fall that goes to UConn, that's Andrew Haig. And now the Blues are going to try to be able to get their first run here in the bottom of the fifth as Maroka looks at a 2-0 count. Maroka struck out back in the third. And he takes that ball into right. That has a chance to get to the wall. It will. Bounces off. Mendoza has to get it in quickly. And Maroka, as it's cut off by McHale, will be a stand-up double for the first baseman. Showing off some moves at first, helping out Malloy. And then now hits a double, a leadoff double, to begin the bottom of the fifth. Now bring up Giacomo Brancato. He grounded out back in the third. Now you wonder right here, with a runner on second, you have 8, 9 on top. Maybe Brancato tries to drop down a bunt. You see the infield playing back. Sullivan on the grass. Nunez kind of discussing with the shortstop, McHale, about where to go, as now he's starting to creep in near the grass as well. This bunt play would be for one thing and one thing only: pushing Maroka over to second base and giving the Blues one run, because right now Elbin is pitching and dealing. Maybe one run might do it. First pitch right down the middle. Brancato doesn't bunt. Brancato still not showing bunt. Maroka on at second. Ball gets away from Simeone, and forget the bunt. It was a breaking ball in the dirt. Simeone tried to pick it instead of blocking it with his chest. And that's going to advance Maroka to third base. Now let Brancato swing away. Andrew Haig on deck with Laparco, the leadoff batter, in the hole. Johnson looking at his first runner in scoring position beyond second in this game, and it's in the bottom of the fifth. Two and one. To the left side, Brancato. McHale has one play, gets the out at first, but Maroka tags home. RBI ground out for Brancato, and the Blues are up 1-0.
Now batting, second baseman, number 9, Andrew Haig.
And Andrew Haig reached on an error back in the third inning and then stole second. And now he attempts the bunt but decides to pull the bat back, call the strike anyway on a backdoor breaking ball, 0-1. 0-1 to the 9 batter, fastball inside. Haig kind of laughing a little bit, maybe probably should have swung at that pitch. Down in the count, 0-2. Bristol Blues so far have one run. If you're just tuning in, Maroka got a leadoff double to right center. And then a wild pitch that got away from Simeone. As Haig takes it into right center, going back is Mendoza. Is able to corral it in for the second out.
Now batting, shortstop, number 1, Alex Laparco.
And with Maroka at third, Brancato grounded out to the shortstop, McHale, who was playing way on the grass. Only had one play, got the out at first, so the Suns retired a batter, but traded an out for a run. And that's what gives the Bristol Blues a 1-0 lead, with Laparco back up for his third at-bat. So far, 0-2 on the day. Has ground out both sides to the right side of the field. And the first inning was to first base, And then the third inning was the second. 1-0. Breaking ball in, 2-0. 69th pitch coming for against Leparco from Brian Johnson. 2-0. 3-0. Now backdoor breaking ball low. The 3-0. High ball 4. Leparco's going to get on with 2 down. With Teddy Haig at the plate. Grounded out and flew out in the first and the fourth. Now from this point on, everyone will be getting their third at bat until we get back, or rather, until we get to Moroka. Sullivan holding on the runner at first. 2 down. Infield playing back. First pitch to Haig. Chokes up on the bat. Looks at a strike. 0-1. Haig batting from the left side. Pickoff play. And now we got himself into a pickle. Leparco trying to direct him where to go. Continues on throwing. The tag is finally applied. And Leparco got a little bit confused about Johnson. He was attempting to go towards home. Had that pause for a second. Leparco is tagged out. He is picked off. Running to the top of the 6th. 1-0. Bristol Blues are up after a Cooper Moroka double, a wild pitch, and an RBI ground out by Brancato. Running now to the top of the 6th. 1-0, as I stated. Bristol Blues are up. Bristol Blues up 1-0. We're in the top of the 6th. Bristol Blues got that 1 run in the bottom of the 5th. A double by Moroka, a wild pitch, and an RBI ground out by Brancato. Now the Suns will have an opportunity to answer back. They will have their top of the order. Shade, Sullivan, Matthews made them get on. Ivan Nunez. And Elbin still going strong. Another inning of work here in the top of the 6th. Breaking ball. Drops it in for a strike. 1-1. And Elbin typically is a reliever. This is his first start of the season. Came with a 4.50 ERA. And foul tipped into the ground. 1-2. Shade struck out in the first, flew out in the third. Elbin with 3 strikeouts to 2 walks. Elbin looking for his 4th. Breaking ball high, didn't snap it down. 2-2. The 2-2. Foul back. We'll do it again. '77th pitch coming with some bullpen action for Bristol. And it looks to be Zachary Dione. 2-2 to Shade. Strike 3. And Shea goes down swinging, one down here in the top of the 6th. 4th strikeout for Elbin.
Now batting for Pittsfield, first baseman number 30, Patrick Sullivan.
I'll bring up Patrick Sullivan. He struck out in the 1st and flew out in the 3rd. Left-handed batter looks at a first pitch fastball, and Elbin throwing strikes. That was the big question. 8 walks to 17 strikeouts in relief, and he looks like a completely different pitcher as a starter. And looking at guys who are completely different pitchers from one spot to another, starter to reliever, reliever to a starter. Look at Justin Rouse. 1-1 to Sullivan. On the hands, fouls it back. 1-2. Has pitched in 2 straight games and gone 1-2-3 in both. Both here at home in the second game of the doubleheader against Worcester and then against the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. So maybe he's getting that confidence he needs going forward, going from a starter to a reliever. 1-2 in the dirt. Nice job by Winkle. 2-2. Two to the lefty. Full count. '83rd pitch coming from Elbin. Full count pitch. Fastball high. 1-out walk. 3rd walk surrendered by Elbin. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks.
Now batting for Pittsfield, left fielder number 20, Dave Matthews.
And that brings up the ever so dangerous Dave Matthews, who so far is 0 for 2, a fly on a ground out, but does show power as he did in the doubleheader the last time the Pittsfield Suns were here. Hit 2 home runs, 1 to left center and another to dead straightaway center on the right side of the flagpole. Dion still warming up in the pen for the Bristol Blues. I would anticipate this might be Elbin's last batter. We'll see how long of a leash Ronnie Palmer has with his righty. Breaking ball brought back by Winkle, but must have been low. 1-1. Nunez on deck. Faircloth in the hole. 1-1. Fastball arm side away and high. 2-1. And depending on what happens with this at bat right here, could be the potential last guy that Elbin faces. 2-1. Breaking ball drops it in. 2-2. Now Matthews will be on the defensive, but not choking up on the bat. Sullivan is on first via a walk, a 1-out walk. Matthews 2-2 count. High fastball, 3-2. And Jordy Shiner as well as Ronnie Palmer talking a little bit about how long to give Elbin. Full count pitch. Breaking ball to the right side. Let's see if they could turn 2. Haig. Leparco to Maroka. 4-6-3 double play. And Elbin getting help from his defense. And any threat is gone by the Suns. And Elbin pitching one heck of a game here at historic Muzzy Field. 1-0. Bristol Blues are up. Running to the bottom of the 6th. Watching the Bristol Blues right here on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Bottom of the 6th, 2-3-4. Haig, Brereton, Winkle. Haig, who was up to bat in the 5th when Leparco got picked off. That's why he's batting again, because his at bat was not concluded. But Casey Elbin, let's give a lot of credit to the righty, making his first start as a Bristol Blue. Haig looks at a first pitch, outer half, called a strike, 0-1. Elbin with 6 scoreless innings has only surrendered 1 hit, and that was a Dylan Faircloth double back in the 2nd inning. The 0-1. Outside 1-1, got a big double play off the bat of Dave Matthews, the dangerous hitter for the Pittsfield Suns. And it will look to be, I would think, that might be Elbin's last batter with Zachary Dion warming up. And Teddy Haig gets hit in the back. And he'll be on at first here in the bottom of the 6th. They lead off hit by pitch.
Now batting for Bristol, center fielder number 7, Richard Brereton.
Brereton at the time got the first hit for the Blues back in the 4th, but was later stranded. Throw back to first. Not the best move of Johnson. His single was hit to left, and then Malloy was able to reach on a tough play by McHale on the behind second base on the run. Then Winkle and Stevens both lined to shade to end any threat back in that half inning. Breaking ball in the dirt low, 1-0. Winkle on deck, Malloy in the hole. And 1 run's not enough for the Bristol Blues. They want to have an opportunity to at least get a couple more because the Pittsfield Suns have scored over 3 runs in their last 4 games. 1-0, bump play. Throw outside, play at second, and he's going to be out. Haig gets caught stealing. Nice throw from Simeone. 1 down. Well, looked to have been maybe a promising start for the Blues. Ends up being on a caught stealing. And a 2-0 count on Brereton. 3-0, and if he walks right here, you can only imagine. I know you can't tell the future, but first and second, nobody out. Sounds a lot better than runner on first with 1 out. And Brereton rips that into right center. Shade's going to have to go back to the track. Turns, looks, it's off the wall. Brereton's going to give it a look, and he's going to stay on at second. Ball cut off by Hughes. And a 1-out double for the Bristol Blues. And that caught stealing by Haig. That takes away an RBI from Brereton.
Now batting, catcher number 30, Pat Winkle.
And Patrick Winkle grounded out and flew out in the 2nd and the 4th, getting his 3rd at-bat with a runner in scoring position. Winkle, the all-area MVP named by the New Haven Register. We go into UConn in the fall. Left-handed batter looks at the first pitch. Down the middle, called a strike, 0-1. That's Brereton's 4th hit, or rather 2nd hit of the day, 4th hit for Bristol. Bristol's up 1-0, looking to try to get more runs. Johnson's still on the mound. And nobody's warming up in the bullpen for Pittsfield. 0-1. In the dirt, lost for a second by Simeone. Decides to eat it, and Brereton had an excellent second jump and read right there and gets the 3rd sliding in. And that run is ever so close. A sac fly could score Brereton. Now Nunez playing on the grass, the 3rd baseman. Infield playing, well, maybe a couple feet back, but more so than not, respecting the power of Winkle. 1-1. in the dirt. Simeone stuffs that one this time. 2-1. Brereton on at third. Winkle with a 2-1 count, infield in. Just fouls it back. 2-2. Malloy on deck. Stevens in the hole. You would think a fastball outside. Winkle just fouled it back. Maybe a breaking ball right here from Johnson. See if he can get him to chase. Two-two to Winkle. He lifts it into right. This has a chance to score a run. Mendoza catches it. Throw comes into home. Overshoots the cutoff man. Brereton slides in. He's going to be safe. And the sac fly for Winkle gives the Bristol Blues a 2-0 lead. And that throw by Mendoza completely missed the cutoff man Sullivan. And Simeone had to go way off the line towards third base. And now the Blues are up 2-0 here in the bottom of the sixth.
Now back to Bristol, third baseman number 10, Justin Henry Malloy.
Malloy comes up with an empty infield, nobody on first, second, or third, and 2 down. First pitch to Malloy. He rips that into left. That's just going to go foul. So that's going to slice in the Bristol Blues bullpen. That's going to be a long strike for Johnson. And Malloy, who does have a home run in his last home game, hit it to left center in Game 2 in a loss against the Worcester Bravehearts. In a Yankees score update, they're up 5-0 over the Atlanta Braves. And Dion still warming up in the bullpen for the Blues. 0-1 breaking ball outside, 1-1. One to Malloy. 2-1. Score update in bottom of the third. Worcester is up 6-5 over Martha's Vineyard. And the North Shore Navigators did beat the Brockton Rocks 12-3. 3-1 to Malloy. Change up out. Full count. Johnson gets the sign. Payoff pitch. Breaking ball in. Malloy works a 2-out walk.
Now batting, right fielder number 31, Peyton Stevens.
And that's the second walk surrendered by Brian Johnson. Peyton Stevens 0 for 2 on the day, but did have a hard liner back in the fourth to shade in center. First pitch breaking ball outer half, 0-1. Bristol getting runs in the fifth and the sixth. RBI grounded by Brancato gave them their first lead in the bottom of the fifth. And then a sac fly by Winkle. Scored Brereton on a double. Another pickoff play, but Malloy's going to get to second. As the throw was way off the line from Sullivan. And Johnson has, I don't know if it's the pickoff move or just the lackadaisical base running abilities by the Blues in this game, but Malloy should be grateful that he's on at second. Sullivan could not complete the throw process as it was way off the line, and now the Bristol Blues have another runner in scoring position on at second. Oh, 1 count on Stevens. Foul back off the screen, 0-2. Infield playing back, just trying to get the out. Sun's starting to set at 8:35. Bristol Blues up 2-0. Swinging strike, but Stevens is going to get on at first as Simeone could not keep that ball in front, and it's a tough day for the catcher and pitcher, Johnson and Simeone. As the fourth pitch that's found a way to get off the rickets of the catcher. And the Blues will have runners in scoring position, first and third. With Cooper Moroka, who doubled in his last at-bat and came around to score on an RBI groundout from Brancato. And now there looks to be some bullpen action for the Pittsfield Suns. Just a conference on the mound, probably to see how much that Johnson has left in the tank. Conversation is over, and Johnson's going to stay in this game. We'll be facing Moroka and then possibly Brancato, but I would think that this might be the last batter that Johnson will face. And Simeone and Johnson, the last two to depart, as the home plate umpire was going back out there to kind of break them up and end the discussion. And Simeone giving the signs to the infield. First pitch to Moroka. He attacks it into left. Going back is Matthews. He lost it, but finds a way to be able to stretch out for the third and final out. Moroka put a good piece on that one, but the Bristol Blues score another on a sac fly by Winkle. And all-star with Brereton getting the double. Right to the top of the seventh. 2-0. Bristol Blues are up over the Pittsfield Suns. You're watching the Bristol Blues right here on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Top of the seventh, new pitcher on the mound, Zachary Dione, relieving Casey Elbin, who threw 6 strong innings in his first start of the season. Been mainly a reliever for the Bristol Blues, or has been a reliever for the Bristol Blues. As I said, 6 innings, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1 hit, and no earned runs. That 1 hit came off of Dylan Faircloth in the third. We'll have Nunez, Faircloth, and McHale. If any of them get on, Hughes. First pitch from Dion, fastball in, 1-0.
Now batting for Pittsfield, third baseman number 39, Nunez.
Nunez flew out in the second and walked in the fourth. Another fastball away. Now to the glove side of Dion, falling behind 2-0. Dion 0-1 with a 5.94 ERA. 2 games started. The rest came in relief, 7 total. Ball fouled off the foot of Nunez, 2-1. 19 and 2/3 innings pitched, 15-19 in terms of strikeout to walk, 14 hits allowed. And Dion making a mechanical adjustment halfway through the season, throwing from the first base side of the rubber. Originally was more towards the middle to right center. 2-1. Fastball away, 3-1. And his last outing came against the Bravehearts on July 1st. 2 innings, 1 hit. No strikeouts, 8 batters faced. 3-1 high, and that's going to be a 5-pitch walk to the leadoff batter, Nunez, and that's not exactly what Ronnie Palmer wanted to see from his relief corps after Elbin gave a strong 6 innings. 14, Dylan Faircloth with a double in the second and a fly out in the fourth, getting his 3rd at bat. McHale behind him and Thomas Hughes in the hole. Fastball high, 1-0. And the big thing with Dion is always command, command, command. He's been on the last couple times, but so far right now has not been able to find the strike zone. And Faircloth attacks that fastball in for a single to left. And the Suns will have some business going on. Runners on first and second. Nobody down here in the top of the 7th, and that's going to force Winkle to go out and talk with his young righty. And Winkle's conversation ends with Dion, and McHale flew out both times, second and the fourth, to right field. Possibly have to look for a bunt here with Maroka now pinching in. Laparco playing closest to the runner. Nunez on at second. Fastball called a strike outside, 0-1. Good start from Dion. And Nunez got on via a walk, a leadoff walk. And Faircloth single to left. The 0-1. Inside, 1-1. Some light tossing going on in the Bristol Blues bullpen. Looks to be Jason Hebner, as well as another pitcher for the Blues. So the leash for Dion is quite short. 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Dion has thrown 3 strikes compared to 7 balls in 10 pitches combined. 2-1. Down the middle. Umpire didn't give it to him. 3-1. And on that pitch, Maroka now plays behind the runner. And the Suns have an opportunity to load the bases. 3-1 to right field. It's going to drop in front of Peyton Stevens. Manager for the Suns are going to hold the runner. Nunez on at third. And the Suns are going to have the bases loaded with nobody down. The ineffectiveness of Dion to be able to throw strikes and having to come with his fastball, which does have some velo on it, but in the FCBO, these guys can hit any type of velocity no matter how fast. That will bring Thomas Hughes at the plate. First pitch to Hughes. Fastball high, 1-0. Dion trying to gas up the fastball, trying to get the strikeout here, but instead overthrows. Has to bear down a ground ball could potentially be a double play depending on where it's hit. I think the Blues will trade a double play here for 1 run. Let the runner score from third, have the second runner who's on second base get the third, and then get the double play. Breaking ball hits Hughes. And that's going to give the Suns a 2-1 down, rather 2-1 they're down by. And on that hit by pitch now, Malloy, Haig, and Winkle are all going to go out and talk with Dion. Nunez scores on the hit by pitch. Faircloth to third. McHale to second. Vicente Mendoza grounded out both times to the left side of the field in the third and the fifth. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it back, 0-1. Mendoza, the Southern Connecticut State, came with a 171 average with 10 walks. On deck is Simeone. Oh-1 down the middle, 0-2. Bases still loaded full of Suns. Start off with a walk of Nunez, and then 2 straight singles by Faircloth and McHale, hit by pitch by Hughes. Overthrows a fastball, 1-2. And Dion's going to have to find a way to be able to escape the damage here. The average run score when the bases are loaded are 2.3. When there's 1 out, they drop to 1.3, and then 2 outs, it drops to 0.9. So far, the Suns have 1 run here. Breaking ball, strike 3. Mendoza goes down looking. Good breaking ball by Dion. His first. Snaps off a good one. That's going to bring up Severino Simeone, still with the bases loaded. First pitch is Simeone. He cuts at and misses a fastball outside, 0-1. And let's see if that strikeout can kind of bring up the confidence of Dion. Still have some bullpen action for the Blues. The 0-1. Another breaking ball. Quickly ahead is Dion, 0-2. 0-2 to Simeone. Another breaking ball. Winkle pulls it in, but must have been high. 1-2. And Winkle trying to steal the strike for his pitcher. And the count is still the right-hander against Simeone. Shade on deck. 1-2 to the 9 batter. Overpowers him with a fastball. 2 consecutive strikeouts for Dion, and he emptied the tank on that one. One looking, one swinging. Mendoza and Simeone. And after that pitch, that's going to force Ronnie Palmer's hand. He's going to go to the bullpen. And Dion started out sluggish, a walk, 2 singles, a hit by pitch, but was able to get the necessary strikeouts to at least give his Blues a chance. And a nice round of applause for Zachary Dion. We're having a pitching change, and we'll be back here at historic Muzzy Field, 2-1. Suns are threatening here in the bottom of the 7th, or rather the top of the 7th. On the mound is the closer for the Bristol Blues, Neil McDermott. And this is a spot which they need him. This could determine the ball game. Bases loaded. Chad Shade, 0 for 3 on the day. Fires a fastball inside, 0-1. And the words of Brian Kenny, the fireman inning, bring your best reliever in a situation like this. And Ronnie Palmer pulls his best card out. Let's see if it works. 0-1 quickly, 0-2. Now, it is a question of how long McDermott will go, if this might be just one batter or if he'll go the rest of the game, because he did throw yesterday. Threw under 20 pitches, but you want to make sure you protect these kids' arms. 0-2 on Shade. Strike 3! And McDermott gets Shade, and the bases are left loaded. And Ronnie Palmer pulls the correct hand, gets his best reliever out of the bullpen in Neil McDermott. And Brian Kenny, if you're back home watching, you would love this. The fireman inning, and got his best reliever, and it worked. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th. The Suns do get a run, 2-1, here at historic Muzzy Field. Bottom of the 7th, 2-1. The Suns left the bases loaded. 2 consecutive strikeouts from Dion. And then Neil McDermott, Ronnie Palmer going to his best reliever, the closers of all closers in the FCBL, Neil McDermott, and he was able to strike out Shade. New pitcher on the mound will be Bradley Hughes. As Brian Johnson's day is done, we will get you a stat line, or what he did rather in this game after this pitch. Do have 8-9 on top, Brancato and Haig. Brancato fouls it back, 0-2. Johnson, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 29. Pardon me, 25. I can't even read my own computer. 25 batters faced. But Ronnie Palmer going to his trump card, and it works. 0-2 on Brancato, 1 and 2. And we'll get you some numbers on Bradley Hughes, who's a sophomore from Greensville. Actually, he doesn't have any stats because he's new. This is his first appearance with the Suns. 1-2, Brancato goes down swinging. Simeone tags Brancato to complete the process, 1 down. And now Hughes does have a stat. It's a strikeout. Andrew Hague will be up, who worked a walk, or rather reached on an error in the third and then flew out in the fifth. Fastball in, 1-0. And Bradley Hughes is from Spartansburg Methodist College. 1-0 to Hague. Takes a healthy cup, but fouls it back, 1-1. And Jason Hebner is warming up in the bullpen. Actually, pardon me, it's not Hebner, I was fooled. It's another left-hander for the Blues. At first, Hebner was warming up, but now they switch to another lefty. Breaking ball in, 2-1. Laparco will be next up. If any of them get on, either Hague or Laparco, it will be Teddy Hague. 2-1. Caught at and missed, 2-2. The 2-2. Swung out to the right side. Mendoza's going to have to track it. He can't pick it up. It's going to get all the way to the wall. Mendoza to the line. Hague's going to round second. Loses his footing for a second. Ball cut off by McHale. Throw to third. Safe. And Hague, as he was rounding second, lost his footing. Mendoza made a heck of a throw. Cut off by McHale. But Hague was able to regain, slide in underneath the tag of Nunez. And that's going to go down as a triple. And the Bristol Blues have another runner in scoring position. See if they can get that run back here in the bottom of the seventh. Infield in. First pitch to Laparco. Strike. 0-1. But what was impressive is that Hague was able to regain his form, his running formation past second, and was able just to get in at third. 0-1 to Laparco. Back to Nunez. Infield was in. Gets the out at first. 2 down. And if the infield was back, that'd be an easy RBI ground up. But because it was in, as now the Suns are playing back, they get the out. And Teddy Hague will be up with 2 down. And wouldn't it be something if Andrew Hague on third could be scored in from his brother, Teddy Hague? First pitch. Foul back. Breerton on deck with Winkle in the hole. 2-1 your score. Bristol came in 6-12. Suns 12-15. Fastball way outside. Simeone had to really reach for that one. 1-1. Nunez, the only infielder playing somewhat close to the bag. Everyone else pushed back. The 1-1. Another fastball. Same result. 2-1. The 2-1. Third straight pitch. Same spot every time, the last 3. Arm side fastball, way out. And if I had to take a guess who was warming up in the bullpen, because Riscotti is a starter, Sosa threw a couple days ago, I would assume that's going to be Patrick Hannon from Franklin Pierce, who's warming up in the bullpen. 3-1, ball 4. Hay gets on at first. Runners on the corners.
Now batting center fielder number 7, Richard Brereton.
And Richard Brereton's going to be coming up 2 for 2 on the day, or 2 for 3 rather. Grounded out in the first, then got a single in the fourth to the left side for the first hit for the Bristol Blues, and then a double in the sixth, and came around to score on a sac fly by Winkle. And that gave the Blues a 2-0 lead before the Suns got one back in the top of the seventh. First pitch to Brereton. Big healthy cut, but misses, 0-1. Oh, 1 to Brereton. Inside, 1-1. Haig on first. Well, both Haig brothers on first and third. Andrew on third, Teddy at first. Brereton ahead in the count, 2-1. And Hughes missing the strike zone. Threw 4 straight balls after getting ahead to Teddy Haig. All 4 were to the arm side outside, outer half of the plate, and then now Brereton ahead 2-1 with Winkle on deck. Ball gets away from Simeone. Haig's going to advance to second base. Another wild pitch. And now the Suns are going to have to get the out at first. Takes away the easiest bag to second base on a ground ball in the infield. So that heads up play by Haig does help the Blues out in some instances. Let's see if this works. 3-1 count on Brereton. Haig shaking his glove, wants to redo the signs. Typically with a runner on seconds, the second sign. 3-1. Ball 4. Second consecutive walk. Bases are loaded full of Blues. And that's going to bring up the ever so dangerous Patrick Winkle, the all-area MVP from the New Haven Register.
Now batting catcher number 30, Pat Winkle.
21 pitches so far for Hughes. And the bases are still loaded. First pitch to Winkle down the middle, 0-1. 23rd pitch coming. Andrew Haig at third, Teddy Haig at second. And at first, Brereton. Haig and Brereton both got on via the walk. The 0-1. In the dirt, 1-1. Andrew Haig got a one-out triple after Brancato struck out. And then 2 walks after that. Leparco grounded out with the infield in. One to Winkle. To the right side, that's going to be a base hit. Ronnie Palmer's going to wave around the other Haig. Andrew and Teddy both score. It is now 4-1, a 2 RBI single for Patrick Winkle, and he's showing why he was the all-area MVP by the New Haven Register. And Brereton advances to third.
Now batting third baseman number 10, Justin Henry Malloy.
And Malloy's going to be coming up to the plate with 2 down. Runners on the corners. Fastball high, 1-0. And when McDermott got that final out, you could just feel the morale and the confidence for the Blues after that. And I think that's what's given them this lead, not having to press as much as if they were down or tied. Fastball, another one in. Malloy had a brush back, 2-0, and Hughes cannot find the strike zone. Two and 0 Malloy. Chopper to the left. McHale plays it on the hop, makes the throw, but Hughes stretches out for the third and final out at second base. But the Blues get two. Off the bat of Winkle, who stays hot. 3 RBIs on the day. 4-1 is your score as we're heading to the top of the 8th. You're watching the Bristol Blues on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Top of the 8th, 4-1. Bristol Blues are up over the Pittsfield Suns, have scored in the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, 1-1 and 2. Neil McDermott back on the mound for his first clean inning as he came in with the bases loaded and got Chad Shade to strike out on a 1-2 count. Sullivan, Matthews, Nunez made them get on Dylan Faircloth. 1-0 is going to be fouled behind, 1-1. Sullivan 0 for 3, or rather 0 for 2, struck out in the first, flew out in the third, and then walked in the sixth, was later out in a double play. 1-1 low, 2-1. You just wonder about how long McDermott will be on the mound because he threw yesterday against Martha's Vineyard in a save. You don't want to burn out the righty. To the right side up the first baseline, but foul, 2-2. Because depending on how many pitches he throws for the remainder of this game or how long the leash that will be for McDermott, could take him out for at least one game, possibly both July 4th and at least the next game after that. Slicing foul, and Sullivan continued to fight. Sullivan came into today with a .292 average, 1 home run, and 9 RBIs. He goes to the University of Georgia. The 2-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, full count. Tenth pitch coming from McDermott, the payoff. And another foul ball. 3-2 is high. Leadoff walk, one of the rare ones that McDermott offers up.
Now batting left fielder, number 20, Dave Matthews.
And you're just wondering how rare that walk is. First pitch to Matthews, fastball outer half, 0-1. That is only his sixth walk given up this season in 12 innings. 25 strikeouts to 6 walks. 26 strikeouts to 6 walks. 0-2 on Matthews as he fouls off that pitch back. Sullivan reached on a walk. Nunez on deck. 0-2. High fastball, 1-2. One, two, just fouled by Matthews to stay alive. Good breaking ball from McDermott, showing the type of height and depth that he can get on that 12-6 breaking ball. 1-2 fastball in, strike 3. And Matthew goes down looking. 1 down here in the top of the 8th. And Matthews is not too happy as he continues to say something back to the home plate umpire.
Now batting number 39, third baseman, Ivan Nunez.
First pitch to Nunez. Foul to the right side, 0-1. Nunez 0 for 1 on the day. Does have 2 walks in the 4th and the 7th. And came around to score after a hit by pitch when Thomas Hughes was struck by Zachary Dion. 0-1 to Nunez. Breaking ball drops it in. 0-2. McDermott looking for his 3rd strikeout in 4 batters. Fastball low, 1-2. The 1-2, breaking ball. Malloy takes an awful hop. It's going to get into left field. Now it's going to be first and second with 1 down, and that's a tough play for Malloy right there as it took a weird bounce off the dirt. And no fault of Malloy. It's nothing you can do in terms of that. Just luck by the Pittsfield Suns. And gives them at least a little bit of life. Faircloth with an opportunity to be able to drive in a couple here. Faircloth 2 for 3 on the day. A double, a single, and a flyout in the 4th. First pitch high, 1-0. In the dirt, 2-0. Faircloth came into today leading the team with 16 RBIs and 5th in the FCBL in driving the ball, or driving in runs rather. The 2-0. Big cut, comes up empty. You saw his chain kind of brush back after that swing. He had to pull it back into his shirt. 2-1. McHale on deck with Hughes in the hole. The 2-1. Just fouls it back. 2-2. And McDermott can get Faircloth right here. You look at McHale and then you look at Hughes. Both have had sluggish days, to say the least. McHale, if you combine both of them, are 1 for 6 on the day. The 2-2 to the right side, foul. We'll do it again. 2-2 broken bat. Haig's only going to have one play, and that's at first. Runners advance to second and third. Sullivan to third, Nunez to second. But 2 down for the Blues here in the top of the 8th.
Now batting for the Suns, shortstop, number 5, Brian McHale.
And Brian McHale, who was left stranded at second base in the 7th. And 2 flyouts in the 4th and 2nd. 1-0 count on the number 5 hitter. Wearing number 5 in the lineup, batting 6th. The 1-0. Foul back behind us, 1-1. Brian McHale from Babson College came in 314, 17 runs, and 9 RBIs. Breaking ball high, couldn't snap it down. McDermott, 2-1. Three and 1. Full count right here. After the fastball away. Does have one base vacant, but you do not want to load the bases with the Suns. Up by 3. A grand slam could put the Suns up. Fastball outside. Strike 3. And McHale goes down looking. And McDermott was able to escape the damage and wiggle out. As the Sunshine runners on second and third, running to the bottom of the 8th. 4-1 your score. Watching the Bristol Blues on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Bottom of the 8th. 4-1 your score. Blues will have 6-7-8. Stevens, Maroka, and Brancato. New pitcher on the mound, Mike Nucci from Babson College, a junior from New Jersey. And Neil McDermott was able to escape any damage on second and third. The Suns had an opportunity. But a big strikeout from McDermott, getting Brian McHale looking. Gave him his 4th strikeout. Fastball in, 0-2. Rather, pardon me, it was his 3rd strikeout. He got Shade in the 7th, and then got Matthews and McHale both looking in the 8th. 0-2, curveball didn't bring it down, 1-2. Bottom of the 5th, 10-9. Worcester Bravehearts are up over the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. Peyton Stevens swings and misses on a breaking ball in the dirt. Simeone had to complete the process at first. 1 down. And Stevens goes down via the K. And that gives Peyton 29 strikeouts on the season. Cooper Maroka, 1 for 3 on the day, but that 1 is a big double. And he came around to score on a RBI ground out by Brancato. Breaking ball in, 0-1, and Cooper Maroka kind of gave up on that pitch before it was even delivered. Wonder if he called time and wasn't granted and decided, you know, I'm just going to step out regardless. Nucci pitching from the first base side. Fouls it back, 0-2. The 0-2. Fastball outside. 1-2. Last time Nucci pitched was on June 24th. In a loss, pitched 1 2/3. Breaking ball to the left. Nice range from Nunez. Sets his feet. Throws off the back foot. And gets the out at first. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Nucci pitched against the Sharks on June 24th. An inning and 2/3. Gave up 1 run. That was earned on 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 9 batters faced. This is his 9th appearance, or rather 10th appearance in a game. Nucci being one of the most reliable relievers for the Suns. With a 3.85 ERA, 14 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts to 8 walks, and 2 saves for the Suns. 0-1 breaking ball drops it in. Tad low, 1-1. Brancato an 0 for 3, but an RBI ground out, I think he'll take that right there. That drove in Maroka, who got the double. 1-2, fastball low. On deck is Andrew Haig, if any of them get on, or rather, if either can get on. Leparco will come up to the plate. 1-2 breaking ball. Simeone tried to pull it back. Umpire didn't pull the trigger on the strike 3, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs from Nucci. Brancato just stays alive, fouls off a tough breaking ball. In the top of the 9th, the Suns will have 7, 8, 9, Hughes, Mendoza, and Simeone, the bottom part of their order. And when we don't know for sure about if McDermott is going to have an opportunity to come back out for the 9th, I would think that he wouldn't because the Blues have at least 2 guys warming up in the bullpen. 2-2. Brancato foul tips into the glove. Simeone again throws to the outside. And a nice stretch from Sullivan, able to complete the strikeout for the 3rd and final out. Running to the top of the 9th, last licks for the Suns. You're watching the Bristol Blues on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Chris Saunders on the call between the Bristol Blues and the Pittsfield Suns. Top of the ninth. 7-8-9. Neil McDermott back out for his second clean inning of work. His third because he came back with the bases loaded in the seventh, or rather came in the seventh. 7-8-9. Hughes, Mendoza, Simeone. 1-1 on the 7-hitter, who's 0 for 2 with a walk in the seventh. 3 outs away are the Blues from improving to 17-12 and have their ace, their bullpen, their trump card, Neil McDermott. And it's almost guaranteed, I think, that McDermott's going to punch his ticket to the All-Star game down at Nashua. 3-1. Foul back off the screen. Full count. Payoff pitch. Ball four, another leadoff walk. McDermott had one in the eighth when Sullivan looked at 5 pitches for a walk. And the same thing now happens to Hughes here in the ninth. And the Blues, or rather the Suns' next game will be tomorrow against the Rocks. First pitch strike to the four-hitter, Vicente Mendoza. 0-1, high fastball. 1-1. And make sure you come down to Muzzy Field tomorrow on the 4th of July as the Bristol Blues face off against the North Shore Navigators. First pitch at 7 p.m. Post-game fireworks on the 4th. When I come down and spend a nice 4th of July. It's supposed to be hot, but end your 4th of July holiday with us here at Historic Muzzy Field. And you can't come down, make sure you tune in on YouTube. It should be a good one. Big, healthy cover from Mendoza. 3-2. And if you're just tuning in or you've been watching during this whole game, I'd like to thank you for being able to stay and spend a part of your Tuesday night here with the Bristol Blues. Fastball outside, strike 3. And Mendoza goes down looking his second time, and he's asking the umpire where that pitch was. He doesn't agree with it, but the ump has the final say. 1 down here in the top of the ninth. Simeone comes up with 1 down. Runner on first still. Fastball high, 1-0. Simeone walked and stole a base in the 3rd, grounded out in the 5th, and then struck out in the 7th. Fastball outside, 1-1. One is taken into the infield. Maroka going back, trying to stay and track it. Makes the catch for this second out, and the Blues are 1 out away. And Jordy Shiner's going to go out and talk with his righty, Neil McDermott. And I'm a little bit questionable about what this conversation could be about, only because McDermott has struggled the last couple batters, but he's made the outs when needed. And Chad Shade hasn't really had a good day. Struck out 3 times, flew out in the 3rd. And there's light tossing going on in the bullpen for the Blues, but I would think that this is Neil McDermott's game.
Now batting for Pittsfield, center fielder number 18, Chad Shade.
And Shade brings up the last opportunity for the Suns. 2 outs coming. Mendoza looking, and then Simeone flying out to the first baseman, Cooper Maroka. Shade looks at a strike outside, 0-1. 0-1, high fastball, 1-1. The 1-1. Fastball low, 2-1. Winkle will try to frame that pitch and bring it back. Winkle with the soft hands and having the ability to frame pitches, I think that's part of the reason why UConn wanted to recruit him, and as well as the power that he possesses. 2-1, same spot, different result, 2-2. And the Suns are down to their last strike. I would think McDermott's going to try to end this game on a fastball. McDermott looking for his 5th strikeout and his 9th save of the season. The 2-2 to Shade. Just foul back. We'll do it again. You can feel the adrenaline and the emotion for the Bristol Blues crowd. They're trying to clap for McDermott. 2-2. And another foul ball. And this crowd's been searching for something, as Bristol's been quite a struggle here the last couple games, but now you can hear them doing everything they can, clapping, screaming as much as possible here for the Bristol Blues. 2-2 to Shade. Breaking ball high, full count. Three-two to the left side. Brereton and Brancato. And Brereton catches it for the 3rd and final out. And the Bristol Blues win 4-1. Winning pitcher is Casey Elbin. And the save goes to Neil McDermott as he worked 2 1/3 innings of stellar baseball. Had 4 strikeouts as well. Impressive job from the bullpen, as well as Casey Elbin, who gets his first win as a starting pitcher for the Bristol Blues. Now we're going to have a post-game interview with Casey Elbin when we come back. You're watching the Bristol Blues right here on the Bristol Blues YouTube channel. Down on the field with the Bristol Blues is the game winner for your Bristol Blues, Casey Elbin.
Thank you, Chris. We're here with the winning pitcher from tonight's ball game, Casey Elbin, making his first start of the season, and boy, was it a doozy. 6 innings pitched, no runs, just 1 hit and 4 strikeouts. Casey, what was working tonight for you?
Really just everything was working. I was getting ahead early with my fastball, occasionally my curveball, and then I was just relying on what Pat called and doing what he said, and it worked out. So.
And you've been primarily a bullpen guy so far this year. What was your reaction when Coach Palmer told you were getting the start tonight?
A little shocking, but at the same time, they had said that they were going to try to get me a start every once in a while, and I was at the point I was like, okay, I'm okay with staying in the bullpen the rest of the summer, and then they said go ahead and get the start, and I accepted it, and you saw what happened.
Seemed to work out, and coming from the bullpen, was there a change in your mentality from the bullpen to being a starter tonight?
Absolutely. Starting, you got to be able to last longer to help out with not needing to go into the bullpen, so I knew that I had to get ahead early and start getting ground balls, flyouts, not worrying about punch-outs, stuff like that, just so that I could continue to cruise through the game and save our arms in the bullpen during this long streak. So,
well, Casey getting his first start and his first victory in the same night, helping his Bristol Blues team improve to 17-13 on the season. Thanks so much, Casey. Chris, back up to you.
Thank you, AJ. Impressive interview. And once again, Casey Elbin doing a fine job. 6 perfectly scored or pitched innings. Did a fine job right there. Bristol Blues improved to 17-12 on the season. And don't forget, tomorrow, July 4th, they will be back playing against the North Shore Navigators, 7 p.m. first pitch. And post-game fireworks right after. So for myself, Chris Saunders, for my cameraman who did a fine job, Jack, thank you again for doing all the fine work that you did. And for everyone that listened, either we're at the game and we're tuning in on YouTube or we're at home watching, we thank you for spending your Tuesday night with us here at historic Muzzy Field. So until then, on July 4th, so long from Muzzy Field in Bristol, Connecticut. Have a good one, everybody.